Good morning, everyone. Oh, I'll just wait a second. Good morning, everyone. This is Leah Dixon from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia, and I'm here for my regular Tuesday morning Facebook Live. Today, I'm going to be showcasing a Sale-a-bration stamp set called Approaching Perfection, and we're going to be creating two cards actually this morning because they're both kind of quick and simple. So I'm just going to come in here and put a little comment in the comments box so that I can see what you guys are saying. And hopefully some of you find me this morning. I didn't do my normal post last night letting you know I was going to go live. I don't know why. I normally pre-schedule that, but I didn't. So hopefully a bunch of you are here. I see somebody just came on. That's great. We'll just give a few more minutes. I'm going to switch my camera over so I can show you some of the product we're going to be using today. I am doing some masculine cards, but I'm not actually using any masculine stamp sets. The only stamp set I'm going to use is the Approaching Perfection set. So let's see here. Transition down to my desk. There we go. Let's just... Oh, good morning. Good morning, Eileen.
So what we're going to be working with today is the Approaching Perfection stamp set. This is a stamp set that can be earned for free with a $60 purchase out of either our annual or January to June mini catalog. And then we're going to be using some matte black dots. These are a new embellishment in the January to June mini catalog. We're going to be using some of the well-suited twine combo pack. And we're going to be using some designers. Thank you, Eileen.
There we go. That should have fixed it. We're going to be using some Designer Series paper out of that well-suited pack as well. It's actually called the well-suited Designer Series paper. Okay. So this Designer Series paper is absolutely fabulous for both masculine and feminine cards because we have this really nice blue floral pattern, which I mean actually could be dressed up on a masculine card as well, but really I don't know, it's quite nice. It kind of a little bit of a Matisse feel to me. I really enjoy that. Some awesome dots. We've got stripes, diagonal stripes. We've got like the little dotted diamonds, some plaid, some stripes with some orange in there. A really nice like almost like tweed kind of pattern. Some more plaid, some fun, just like kind of like drafting paper, like grid paper or whatever, which is great for simple backgrounds. And then the orange with the blue. Oh, just a second, I can see that people have left comments, and for some reason my thing isn't scrolling down for me. Just a second. Oh, wonderful. Yes, it's great for ties and stuff like that. So it's kind of funny. I have nobody, oh, and then the paisley. I have nobody in my life who works in an office. I have nobody who wears a tie. They don't tend to make HVAC stamp sets. I'm not really sure why. So I'm going to make some masculine cards that are kind of more generic, that don't go with that tie theme, don't use that stamp set or anything. Although in the mini catalog, the well-suited, here I'll just grab it for you and show you. The well-suited suite has a really, really nice stamp set that goes with it if you do have that tie person in your life. Bow ties, long ties, the nice Happy Father's Day sentiment and everything. So it's a really classic, really beautiful set, and it comes with some great dies as well, so you can make like full-on tuxedos and everything. So it is fabulous, but I'm just going to kind of use the embellishment pieces from this suite to create what I need for the men in my life. So let's move this stuff out of the way and we will get started designing. So our first card is going to have a Night of Navy base, and then I've got two pieces of Whisper White cardstock here. The reason why I have two is one's going to go on the front of our card and one's going to go on the inside of our card because this stuff's really hard to write on. So we've got our Night of Navy background, and we're going to actually start. I don't normally start by gluing my cardstock down, but so that I get everything straight, that's actually the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these two pieces right into my card, one on the front and one on the inside. So I do like to use liquid glue. Seal is another great option for this, or whatever adhesives you have. And so step one is to get this on there and get it all centered and straight. There. And our inside piece, we might as well do at the same time. Now, you'll notice that I am using my Whisper White because finally Stampin' Up! Has basic white. Oh, good morning, Catherine. Stampin' Up! Has basic white in stock now. And that's, I actually have some shipping that should arrive today. So then I'll be able to do a little video and show you guys the similarities and differences between our old Whisper White and the new basic white. But I'm no longer kind of hoarding my white cardstock. I feel like I can be using it, so we're going to use it freely. So what I've done now is I took some of our designer series paper. I just took two different patterned pieces and I cut up just some little chunks. I think this was, yeah, 2.5 inches wide and then by 1 and by 1/2 of an inch. And we're going to glue these on here to create like kind of a little pattern. Good morning, Val. Nice to have you guys on. Yeah, so with our Whisper White, well, our basic white coming available now, and that's available to customers as well. No restrictions on ordering or anything. Yay. We can start creating with white again, which is awesome. Especially since so much of our designer series paper has white in it. All right, so there's kind of no real measurements to where I'm gluing this piece. I just tried to put it up in the top corner so it had kind of an equal border on the left side and the top. And I'm going to just kind of repeat this for, oh, I just glued the wrong piece. Okay, we're just going to set that aside. Sorry, I wanted to grab a thin version of that. We're just going to kind of alternate between thick and thin. All right, there we go. So there's the thin piece. There. And then I'm going to come in and do the thick piece. All right. And so what's great about the design that I'm doing today is this can be done literally with any designer series paper, any sentiment, and you have a quick and easy layout for a card. All right, now that I've got that done, I'm going to put this dark blue piece, and so now I'm going to switch it up a bit, and instead of continuing down the front of my card, I'm actually going to pop down to the very bottom of my card and put down this piece. And now this one that I glued. Okay, and what that's done is it's left a little spot for me that I can pop in a sentiment. Okay, so that is exactly what I'm going to do, and I am going to grab, I love this stamp set because the sentiments are so kind of like not over the top funny, but they are kind of cute. It says, so what if you're a year older, you're fabulous. And so I'm going to stamp that in basic black, memento. All right, so we'll ink that up. Now, I want to make sure that I actually did get this straight on my block, so I'm going to just do one, yep, there we go. One little test run of stamping it to make sure that my label on my stamp actually is straight like my stamp. And now, when I do this one, I'm actually going to pop it out kind of to the side. And hope that that's straight. Now you could use a Stamparatus for this, and then you'd get it straighter than I got it. That's okay. So we've got our sentiment there. And now I did leave some space over here, and that's because I'm going to pop in some matte dots. These black matte dots are just so fabulous. So I'm going to kind of find the center of that open space I left and put one down. And then I'm going to put one on each side of it. Okay. And there we go. So we've got those on there as like a nice little embellishment. So we're keeping it really simple, really classic looking. And then on the inside, we're going to stamp our happy birthday. And I'm going to do that actually in Night of Navy. So grab my Night of Navy here. Ink up my happy birthday. And pop that right into the center of the card. All right, so now a little trick that I learned from my friend Janice is at the same time as I'm doing this, because I don't always give these away right away, so that I don't have to kind of take them out of the packaging that I put them into. I'm going to stamp that happy birthday right here on a sticky note as well. And then when I pack this up into, I always put mine into clear envelopes to store them. When I pack this up into the clear envelope, I'm just going to have this stuck to the envelope inside my clear envelope, so that I don't have to open it up and I know that inside it says happy birthday. So for those of you who store yours in clear plastic, or for those of you who sell your stamps, or not your stamps, your cards, that's just kind of a nice thing to have in there to be able to remind yourself without having to open it up. Oh no. Oh, I just got a black thumbprint on the front of my card. So now sometimes if you're fast, you can come in with a white eraser. Not entirely. I don't know where that black ink came from. That's not good. Okay, so sometimes if you're fast enough and it's just light enough, oh, now I see it on my hands, you can get in there and just kind of take it away. So I've taken enough of that away that it's not a visible black smudge on the front of my card now. All right, there we go. Oh, that's really smart, Eileen, to use a recipe box. Very nice. See, I make so many cards, I don't always know who I'm making them for. This particular one, I think I'll actually be saving it for my dad for June, so it's got a ways to sit before it's going to get used. But that is a really good idea. Oh, I should go grab one. All right, so that was our first card. Our second card, we're going to be using the same designer series paper, and we're going to have a basic gray background with, and I have pre-cut pieces, which I don't normally have when I do these videos. I like to show you my whole process. So I'll explain to you why I actually have pre-cut pieces. It's part of my process. In January, I tend to do a big overhaul of my stamp room because, of course, things are retiring, new things are coming in, trying to make space for things. And I also go through my filing cabinet and kind of clear it out and get rid of scraps. And so what I do when I have, like, especially with the white and stuff, when I have little scraps I don't know what to do with, I just find a die or a punch that works, and I cut them up so that in front of me now on my desk, I have just random pieces that are quick and easy to grab of current products. So like I used the stitch rectangles to cut that out. So I've got quick and ready to go labels. So when I'm actually not doing lives, but when I'm creating, I have pieces that I can just quickly grab, and then later on if I'm going to reproduce it, then I go find the die or whatever that created it. I have about 150 little small blooms in front of me because I went through all my colored scraps and just cut blooms out of them. A little bit crazy, but it's really great to have all these little blooms, because when I am creating with flowers, then I can quickly see which colors are going to go nicely together, how many flowers I need on the front of a card, and it makes actually designing with them really easy. So that's why we have pre-cut pieces. I had a little bit, I actually had pre-cut blue pieces already, so I'm going to try and use those up. And then this label, I actually pulled out the dies so that I could show you at least where I got them from. So the blue circle was, I think it was the second largest stitched circle from the Stitch Shape Framelits. These are fabulous. It's the circles, the ovals, and squares all in one. And then this little guy came from the Tasteful Label dies. I was doing some designing for my upcoming class. I actually don't even think I've gotten around to posting it. I'll try to this afternoon, but I actually have an Approaching Perfection class coming up, and that was one of the pieces that we used in when I was designing that class. So watch this afternoon for that class to be advertised. This is not one of the cards from the class, just kind of something else that I created. And if you watch my videos a lot, you'll recognize the layout of this one because it's a layout I've talked about a lot and used a lot, just because it's so quick and easy. All right, first thing we need to do is clean up our happy birthday because it is covered in Night of Navy ink, and I don't want that. All right, so this is my my Simply Chamois. It is just water on a chamois, and then you basically just stamp your stamp onto there, and it takes all the ink off. I know it looks really, really messy, but you know, it does such a good job of cleaning. So there we go. All right, Hippo Happiness has it does some really nice ones in Hippo Happiness. All right, so with our happy birthday all cleaned up, I'm going to grab some smoky slate, and I am going to stamp happy birthday. I'm just going to make sure this is stamping nicely. Not too bad. I think it's almost time to re-ink my smoky slate. All right, so I'm just going to stamp happy birthday all the way down my right-hand edge of my card. Just one on top of the other. So this is a basic gray background, and I chose not to use the basic gray just because it is quite a bit darker. I thought the smoky slate would create almost like a Versamark effect on here. Okay, and one more. All right, so happy birthday top to bottom in smoky slate. Now, I also have a piece of smoky slate cardstock here and a piece of that designer series paper from the Well Suited DSP. And I'm going to glue this onto the smoky slate background. I don't actually have to. It doesn't add a ton to the card when we do that. It creates just a tiny bit of a finishing look to it as opposed to just putting DSP onto my card. But the real reason for putting this onto cardstock is to actually give it a little bit more strength, because I'm going to tie some twine around it. And I don't know if you've ever tried to tie twine. Wow, that's hard to say. Tried to tie twine around just a loose sheet of DSP. It's really floppy and bendy and not the easiest thing to do. So that's the real reason for the cardstock behind here, is to give a little bit of structure to this before I go ahead and tie the twine. So the Well Suited twine combo comes with a basic gray twine and a Night of Navy twine. I am so ecstatic that there's twine in this catalog. So we've got the Well Suited twine in the gray and navy, and then the Snail Mail twine, which I have a feeling I'm going to be going through a lot of, that has white. Yay, I've missed that so much. And then the pink, which I believe is Flirty Flamingo. Flirty Flamingo, or maybe it's Petal Pink. Not really sure. I'll have to double check on that one. In any case, it's a really nice light pink, and it goes with a lot of stuff. And I don't really care because it's got white twine in that pack, so I have missed my white twine a lot. So to do this, I'm going to bring out a little piece that I have to be able to tie a bow. I'm going to wrap this top to bottom and top to bottom again. Pinch that off and cut so I have some more left to tie a bow. So with that wrapped around like that, I'm going to take one of my pieces, and I actually like to tuck it right under both. Oops, I did that wrong. All right, take those together, and as I'm kind of tying that first knot, I do wrap it under all the twine so that it pinches it, and then I do tie a knot. Okay, so with that knot tied, now I can kind of straighten out my lines and position these where I actually want them, and then I go ahead and tie my bow. And I do that by doing bunny ears wrapped around each other. My hands don't always work in the morning, but not too bad today. Okay, and then twine's great because you just kind of wiggle it around and see what happens. You can kind of make it go where you want it to. And if you don't love what you've got in terms of a bow, just undo it and start over. But I'm actually pretty happy with what I got. Oh, maybe not. No. Okay, so we're just going to start over. So bunny ear, bunny ear. The trick here is to try not to let them twist when you're doing this first loop through. That keeps them kind of more open. There, that's better. I like to have the open bows. And that one just seems to want to come underneath. So bows, you know, people are like, oh, they're so hard, I can never get them. It's just really a lot of patience. And I mean, I know some people have like little bow makers and stuff, but for me, I'm so bad about finding those kinds of tools. I have all those things and I just rather take the time to fiddle with it and get it right. All right, there. So now that we've got our bow done, oh, I'm still not happy with that. Sorry, guys. Okay, third time's a charm. So double bunny ears, just about done here. All right. So while I'm trying to get this bow sitting the way I want it to sit, I'll just let you guys know. The Sale-a-bration catalog is a little catalog that you should have received along with your January to June catalog. You can view it online as well. And it has stamp sets in it and DSP that you can earn for free. In fact, it's the only way to get them unless, well, actually, no, even as a demo, you could only earn them. So yeah, the only way to get them is to earn them by spending $60 or $120 for 2 of our larger stamp sets in there. So now that I got that bow, we're going to use some liquid glue and put this onto our card front. And so Approaching Perfection stamp set is one of those freebies. And it's a great one to pair up with so many different things. You could pair it up with this Well Suited. You could pair it up with a flower set, like so many options. All right, I'm going to put this down so that it's just before those bees in the birthday. There we go. Awesome, that's done. Now I'm going to grab another sentiment from our Approaching Perfection stamp set, and it's a great one. It says, newsflash, birthdays found to be good for health. Studies show that people who have more birthdays live the longest. Duh. All right, I like it. And I like the newsflash. It's kind of got that more masculine feel to it, and I don't know, it just seemed to work. So we're going to ink that up in Night of Navy and stamp that onto our little label that we had pre-done. Oh, that did not stamp very straight. That's too bad. All right, the other side of this actually doesn't look too bad. It does have a little bit of embossing on it, so it is intended to be one way, but we'll make it work the other way. Now it just has the embossing going the other way. So usually I do like to stamp my images first and then die cut them around what I've stamped. But since I'm using up pieces that are already on my desk, we're going to do this the other way. All right, there we go. That's way better. So now that we've got that stamped, we're actually going to attach this with dimensionals. I do have some right here. So we're going to put this onto this extra Civic Point circle that I had on my desk. And I'm so excited. I actually had a stack of, oh, what color was it? Coastal Cabana circles. I must have been, well, actually I know for a goat class that I did earlier in the year, I had cut a circle out of the front of all my cards. And so I had like 16 Coastal Cabana circles, just a little bit bigger than this, left over, and I actually managed to design a card class using those up. So that was pretty exciting to me that I was able to get those off my desk. All right, and then we're going to put some dimensionals on the back here. And put this onto our card front. There we go. And pop that on there. And then for our finishing touch, I am going to stamp Happy Birthday one more time in Night of the Navy on the inside of our card. And for this one, I'm not going to bother making anything that says what it says inside because it just says Happy Birthday. And the front clearly states that this is a birthday card. So not too worried about that. All right, so that's done. And so there are our 2 cards for today. And so that's using the Well Suited Designer Series paper and twine combo, along with our Approaching Perfections stamp set and our matte black dots. So I hope you guys liked that. 2 really quick and easy cards, and really easy to switch up with other stamp sets, other designer series paper. Great way to make some quick cards that anybody would love. So you guys have a wonderful day. I'll actually just switch back over. All right, thank you. So thanks so much for joining me. I do these lives pretty much every Tuesday at 9 a.m. I always do my best to put up a notice ahead of time if I'm not going to make it on for my 9 a.m. Sometimes, you know, life happens. We've got 5 kids in the house, so things come up. But yeah, typically 9 a.m. on Tuesday mornings, I'm here. If you liked this video, make sure to follow my page as well. And if you want to get more frequent updates about what's happening with Stampin' Up! And their sales and new catalogs and everything, at the top of my Facebook page, you can actually sign up to receive my newsletter. I send it out about once a month and sometimes more frequently when things come up. Like this month, there'll be 2 emails because I didn't have all my classes planned when I sent out the newsletter at the beginning of January. And then we also got the updated info about the basic white paper. So I'll be sending out something about that. But typically it's once a month, and it's got all my upcoming classes, all the upcoming sales that we know of. And yeah, so I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.